Very good evening, everyone. Sorry, there was a technical glitch. We are back now, and ma'am will be joining in just a minute.
Hi.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Good
Apologies
evening.
from my end. Good evening.
Ma'am, am I audible clearly? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, you are. I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody who's logged in to this live session. The Defense Archive welcomes you all warmly. We are living in very tumultuous times, so we do hope that each one of you and your families are safe and healthy, and we will get through this through as we have previously before. And welcome to this session. This session is called Women of Steel. And as the name suggests, we are going to be interviewing very accomplished, very courageous women officers from the Indian Armed Forces, women officers who've donned the uniform, who've served the country, and who've done pretty much the unthinkable. And in that session, in that series, we have with us one such veteran. We have Major Prajakta Desai Ma'am, who is a very, very accomplished Indian Army veteran with multiple accomplishments up her sleeve. She's worked in the very esteemed area of Army Aviation and air traffic control. And post-retirement, she has also been very, very active in animal rescue, animal welfare, adventure enthusiast, and she also works with Amazon. So if we keep counting all of her accomplishments, that would take up a long, long time in the live session. But we are very, very glad, ma'am, that you took the time out for this, and we're very honored also. So thank you so much for doing this with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. First of all, apologies. A small emergency that took place right now, just while I was getting ready. That's why I had requested, for shifting it for 15 or 20 minutes or so. So apologies
Absolutely.
from my end.
No problem, ma'am, no problem. With your permission, can we start the interview then?
Yes, 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 please. Yes, please. Yes, let's
Okay,
start.
thank you. Thank you, ma'am. So my first question is will probably take you back to your late teen and early adulthood days. I want to know what made you choose to join the Indian Army all those years ago. What was the decision that motivated you to do so? And when you decided to do so, how did your family and everybody else around you react to it?
Okay. So I have kept telling people this thing a lot, how that desire began when I was 8 year old. But today what I will do is I'll add to the thing that, kept me motivated, focused, and inspired. And that happened, when I was growing. So I would say in the late 90s, having a career which is, completely different, because then people were always telling their kids, yeah, you must become a doctor, you must become an engineer, which is by all, it's the best careers. But however, I always thought that why should I go with the flow? Let me go a little upstream and see. I always wanted to do something in a male dominated field. I know it may sound little filmy. It has does sound that time to many people, but I wanted to do something that is less, ordinary. A career that is completely different. A career which allows, which allows very few women, and there are very few women there and trying to, portray that yes, we are not lesser than the men counterpart. And what could be better than, serving your own nation, donning a uniform, becoming a class one gadget officer as early as, people become at 21-year olds. So these were the things that, made me choose this profession. But yes, when I was 8 year old, I had gone with my father to watch the movie Border, and seeing Sunny Deol in it, this 8 year old kid was so excited. I said, yes, I want to join the army, not knowing what opportunities are there. And then I used to think you have to be a, you have to be a man to become. Apologies, you might hear my dogs barking, so it's their time for moving out. So
Yes,
they
ma'am.
keep doing that, yeah. So these are one of the things. Apart from that, the second thing I would like to tell you is, as you asked about my parents, when I was a kid, my parents never differentiated the thing that, you're a girl, you should not do certain things, or boys are meant to do something like this. It was never that way. Fortunately, unfortunately, when I was born, I did not have any female counterparts in my colony of my age. I had them either they were elder to me or younger to me. So my friend circle had always been the boys. So playing with them, cricket and those different छोटे छोटे games जो हम खेलते हैं गिल्ली डंडा and all these things was like yes, I can be with them and my parents never stopped me. In fact, they told me please dress up correctly, wear shorts, go out, go play. If something happens, they would tell me, don't come crying home. It is your business. If you have had a fight with somebody, sort it out there and come back. So these were the early teachings that which I got from my parents. And when I became a teenager and when I in college when I told them yes I am aiming for the armed forces in general, so they were very happy. They were like go for it and we'll always be there with you. In fact, when I said I want to join NCC, I want to do little bit of athletics, for each and everything my parents were supportive. There's not a single time I remember that I have been told for something which is not to be done. So it's all my parents and the right support that I got at the right time, which made me be focused here and achieve.
Absolutely. It is, if filmy or not, it is very inspiring to just listen to this now. And I'm sure everybody listening to this live session must also be getting inspired like that. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Then my next question moves a little into your time at the academy. We've all heard of how rewarding as well as demanding military training can be. Now, after all these years, after your retirement, is there one instance from your time in the academy, good, bad, memorable, funny, anything that you still remember and you still sort of revisit and it makes you feel good? Is there anything like that, ma'am?
It's, to be very honest, not one decision. It's the entire training. I'll tell you. I would like to tell the viewers in very short how our entire training goes. Like we have just 24 hours in hand. Okay. However, out of these 24 hours, almost 18 hours somewhere we are always committed to some physical exertion, to all mental exertion and everything. And I am not exaggerating, but this thing happens. Your morning starts at around 6 o'clock when you have your first parade, maybe your drill oblique your PT. You need to wake up because when we were there, we were staying in barracks. We had no personal cabins, especially the lady cadets. We had no personal cabins, so we had common bathrooms. So you have to get up early. You have to get up before your seniors. So somewhere around at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you'll find people waking up. Then starts your PT. In your PT, you have to be in total whites. You cannot have a single speck of dirt on your t-shirt and your shorts. So you have to be that careful while you're taking a cycle, you're going to the training area. And while cycling also, you cannot be single mounted. You have to go in a group. It's called a squad of either 4 or /6. So you go there, you do your PT, and PT is like every damn thing, running, push-ups, sit-ups, everything that counts. After that session, we get around 20 minutes of break. We need to go back, change into our drill clothes, like the drill uniform, go to the court where the weapons are kept, draw your own weapon, reach outside the drill square, stand in the proper squad, give your reporting. All this, I think, between 20-25 minutes has to be done. So people in those 20-25 minutes used to keep rushing, and you cannot be indisciplined there. As I said, you need to go in one line, in one squad, you need to march properly, you cannot be haywire. So we used to go all the way from our training area to our barracks, change, go back in our drill uniform, take the weapon and go for drill. And in drill also, again, even a small crease, extra crease to your pants will fetch you punishments. A small loop also here and there, a button also broken, it's like a very big thing happening. I mean, all these things sounds, sometimes it may sound funny, it sounds, how harsh is it, but this makes you disciplined that in the worst of the worst condition also, in the limited time span also, you can dress up like a gentleman or a lady and you can be present. Like I would suggest, dress up like an officer, prim and proper, and be ready for the parade. After that, we used to get very little time. Go back, have a bath, have your breakfast, go back to your classes. We used to have classes, I think, from 9 o'clock or something. I'm not able to exactly recollect the time till afternoon 1:30. And in classes, obviously, when your body has been in so much, rigorous training, you tend to sleep because your body cools down. You feel like sleeping. So we used to sleep in the classes. And if you by mistake are caught by the officers or directing staff by sleeping in the classes, you're made a spider. spider as in you have to keep attaching yourself to the window railings on the opposite direction, so you're like a spider with your hands and legs stretched. So it's either so either you sleep or you don't get caught. If you get caught, then something like this will happen. Yeah, then again go have your lunch, then get back. Then evening we had games. After games we had something known as the anti-room session and a study period, where you have to wear a mufti, tie, proper trousers, shirt. You must have a pen with you. You must have an handkerchief with you, and any small thing missing will fetch you punishments. So the training, and you have to study for like next 40 minutes. You have to sit on your table and study, and people are there on the rounds, your seniors. If you're caught sleeping, then again you will be again on the thing, punishments will be adding. And finally after dinner you come back, you the official light out timing is at 10 o'clock, so that at least for 10 to 4 or 5 6 7 hours of sleep. But then we have punishments going on at night, 2 o'clock, where you are entirely drenched, totally wet and rolling in the mud and all. Then you go back, change, get an hour of sleep, and again your session starts. So entire academy is like a whole memory. It breaks you and gets you on a platform. I would say, wherever on whatever classroom society you come from, it'll break you down, get you on a common platform, and tell you to start from here. That's the best part of the academy. And I tell you, our test at the same time, there are physical tests which you have to pass. There are class test as in examination, written examination which you have to clear. There are camps you have to do. So much amount of thing going on in 1 year. So it is always that we are on our toes. So academy has been both memorable and at times, yes, you lose hope. You cannot cope up with that. Your legs pain. I used to cry because I joined late. Though I was very prepared physically, but I used to cry with my in front of my seniors, and I used to say, I cannot have food on time. I cannot, have chapati properly, because again, dinner etiquettes. You have to roll the chapati with your left hand and start eating, rather than eating like this. So yeah, it is
Okay.
fork and spoon for everything, and within the stipulated amount of time. So, and me being a foodie, I used to get so freaked out. I used to come back and I used to actually burst out and telling I'm not able to eat my food. So that was the biggest pain I had, that मुझे खाना अगर ना मिले ना, so I lose it, and it was since childhood. So here also, I used to feel that. Then if when you have to keep cycling, you have these, I mean, though Chennai is very flat, but there are certain places in the academy which have a little bit of upslope and all. You cannot stop cycling there. You have to be with the squad. So your legs are paining, your ankles are paining. So when and you have to overcome it, because academy doesn't stop, training doesn't stop. You have to cope up. So
Right.
these are the parts, when we do feel that, let's give up, let's give up. But no, when everybody comes into the army, they come with a clear mindset and also with a big determination that they want to pass out, becoming lieutenant with 2 stars on their shoulders. So that is the motivation which keeps us driving.
Absolutely, ma'am. And I'm guessing it must all be worth it at your
Yes.
POP, and once you wear your uniform, all of this must
Yes.
become worth it, right? Yeah.
Totally, totally. And especially the haircut, I would say. I had no issues. I was always okay having short hair. We had this short hair and this tiny, the pokey kind of hair we had. And used to have that every Sunday. It was a compulsion. It was a parade. You need to go and get a haircut. So they used to use the machine for us over here, like boys. So yeah, girls used to feel, the cadets used to feel, yeah, we are girls and what is happening to us. But yes, at the end of the day, that's a one-time experience. You're going to have that kind of hair only for 1 year. And
Yeah.
it is one way, it is very good for you, because with all the rigorous training, you're not able to maintain the hair quality. So
Hmm.
it's better you cut your hair, look smart in that. You have very less time to have a bath, and you can very well get yourself groomed in that time.
Absolutely, ma'am. It's a different world in itself by the sound of it. Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
totally.
Yeah. So, ma'am, there are a lot of defense aspirants listening to this session and as well as a lot of civilians. Now, what I've seen is civilians generally have a traditional understanding that army is land and air force is, of course, flying and this thing. But a lot of us don't know that there is a very important segment called Army Aviation within the Indian Army itself, which has been instrumental in several missions, operations, and battles for us. So, and you have been an accomplished officer in Army Aviation. So, could you give us a little insight into what Army Aviation does?
Okay, so basically, see, the entire responsibility of the air lies with the Air Force. However, Army Aviation has some amount of airspace given to them. Now, when I say some amount of airspace, that means it is earmarked for flying of Army Aviation, especially in the war scenario. So, and the reason why we have helicopters is, if you know, in even in other countries also, in spite of having their army, they have a wing, a flying wing, where we have where we have helicopters. Indian Army especially has only helicopters. We do not have any transports and fighters. We have only helicopter. The main aim, or you can say, recce and observation, the I would say the missions or the Army Aviation does. Then you have casualty evacuation, air maintenance. By air maintenance, I mean is whichever posts are cut off in the mountainous areas, whichever posts are cut off in the winters. How do you supply things to them? There are yes, there are transport helicopters of the Air Force doing it, but yes, if you want to transfer the equipment from one place to another and the road has been blocked because of the snow, who does that? It is the Army Aviation, lifting off your small guns, placing it over there, whatever the spare parts are there, the ration is there, anything, and especially casualty evacuation, because the higher you go in the up in the air, the rarer it is. So you need smaller aircrafts which can fly over there and which have the capacity of carrying most. So we generally have Cheetah, Chetak, ALH. These are the type of aircrafts we have in Army Aviation. If I tell you about Cheetah, it is the smallest one. You have just like two pilots sitting, and the back of the space is completely kept empty so that you can load things over there, put it, transfer it to the post where it is required. You can evacuate people. Now, in case something happens, like you have firing going on, there's ceasefire violations, or some landslide taking place, or somebody has fallen ill due to something, the time taken for evacuating that soldier from the post till the nearest hospital would like take very long hours. So what can be best? A helicopter flies from the base down, goes up over there at the helipad, lifts up the casualty and drops them back in the hospital. So this is one of the major things that Army Aviation keeps on doing. Apart from that, I said recce and observations. Uh, Flying in the air, doing the reconnaissance, observing where our posts are, at from certain distant enemy posts are. Apart from that, they are capable of even directing artillery fire, like artillery guns on the command, and calculations that are done by the helicopter can target their rounds at the right position. So Army Aviation also does that. So a lot many things that are done. The helicopters, obviously people think it's just a helicopter, but I will tell you that helicopter is capable of hovering at even at the best of the best places and landing in the smallest areas. You would be knowing during the earthquake in Sikkim, then there were floods in Srinagar. Helicopters have landed on the rooftop of houses to save people. You do not need big
Right.
aircraft to do that. Yes.
Right.
So they are the most agile ones, most flexible ones, and yes, they can hover in the air. They do not, they do not need that braking system and all. They do not need long runways. They can lift themselves from the smallest of the smallest place and land at the smallest of the smallest place. So that's the biggest advantages of having helicopters. And what can be best when army themselves are having their own helicopters, and because army is deployed maximum, then naval and air force, army is deployed in the forward. If we are able to help our infantry soldiers, our brothers, at the very shortest amount of time being in the same service, what can be more better than that? So that's the biggest advantages of having Army Aviation. So that is about the pilots. And for if you say about me, I was the air traffic controller. To control the aircrafts, you need somebody who's an air traffic controller. So that has been my job. Apart from that, we have engineering officers who are maintaining the aircraft, who are repairing the aircraft. So there are 3, 4 people over there who form part of any Army Aviation unit. The pilots, the air traffic controllers, the engineering officers. Then you have logistics also, people who are, supplying all the spare parts, supplying all the spare parts of the helicopters, getting them from a certain agency. That is being done. And we have doctors who are specialized for, aviation medicine. So that is how an aviation unit is formed.
So it's an entire unit in itself with all of
Yes.
these people. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's a team effort which makes
Yeah.
an helicopter fly, the pilot go from one place, land over there, fulfill his mission and come back.
Come back, yeah, absolutely, ma'am. And thank you for giving such a detailed explanation about it. It's wonderful to know that. Now, my next question, ma'am, is about this is something that we always ask all of our women veterans. There's a lot of discourse about whether women should be in the forces, whether they should serve in forward areas, etc., etc. And of course, like everything else today, there's a lot of commentary on it. But you are someone who is from the establishment, you are someone who's worn the uniform and served in those places. What is your take on this, ma'am? Is there any way that why should a woman not join the forces? Is there any reason for postulating something like that?
Okay, I'll say, what, that our country needs to, it is of course improving. What we were maybe in the 90s or before that, see where women are today. So yes, our country is developing, but it should go a little more at a faster way. Now, people should understand one major difference, that men and women are different. If they were not different, just take the case and example of Olympics. Do
Hmm.
we have any common games in Olympics? Do we have 100 meters same for men and women? No.
Hmm.
Do we
Right.
have high jump, costume? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I can.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if you see, other than tennis, badminton, where we have a mixed doubles, other than sports like wrestling, boxing, athletics, do we have men and women playing together? No,
Hmm.
because at least in Olympic organization, people have understood that the make of men and women are different. So
Hmm.
when people try to understand that in the government or in the armed forces, that yes, a woman, a woman will take a little longer time or will be a little, maybe not exactly in comparison to you in physical fitness, but she will be somewhere there. So the major part is people must understand. Second thing is that army is not about only being physically fit. It's about your mentally fitness. As I told you, the entire schedule of OTA, I might be the best of best in my physical fitness. But what if I'm a person who gives up easily, thinking that भाई दिन में 6 बजे से रात को 11-12 बजे तक I'm occupied. What if I lose my hope? I may be a gentleman or I may be a lady cadet.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
if I am a person who's not, what do you say? Who's not mentally strong enough,
Hmm.
I am not going to survive. So
Right.
mental strength is one thing. And yes, when people talk about, that women should not be in the front and all, people must understand that in Kargil war, women were there. We have a very good personality here, Captain Yashika ma'am.
Yes. Ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, but her role is different. Till now, women are not in the fighting forces.
Hmm.
The time women will come in the fighting forces, everything will change. It will change slowly. See, now we have women in Army Aviation, in Army Air Defense. These are not the arms that exactly go in forward with the war. What we see on in TV, on the movies and on the television, it's about the infantry, the fighting force के जो जाके अपनी बंदूक लेके बॉर्डर पे जाके लड़ेगा.
Yeah.
हाँ,
Yeah.
we see that and then we say कि यार लड़कियों को यहाँ पे नहीं है. But people should know that women have gone till there.
Yeah.
It's only that they are not in the infantry.
Right.
And I'll tell you, another thing is the opportunity. These days, if you see, the opportunities are much more than what they were in the early 90s or early 2000, late 2000s. Opportunity are more. That time, a girl becoming a graduate was a very big thing. Now you have
Absolutely.
every second girl child having the opportunity of going and learning a different sport.
Hmm. Hmm.
Getting into yoga, getting into athletics, getting into fitness, boxing, anything from now onwards. So the physical make of the woman will be developed since her childhood. She will be strong. Going and playing boxing in the academy or playing judo in the academy will not be
Hmm.
something new for her because उसने
Right.
बचपन से किया है. her body is acclimatized to that. So when things are happening, things are going in times to come, yes, women will be empowered exactly like you in like men in the physical fitness. And when we talk about officers, there's nothing such as a man or a woman. If she knows how to command a man, she doesn't need to be a man by gender. I'll give you my example. When I was a lieutenant, the first time I went into my aviation unit, I had my entire set of air traffic AFSOs, like airfield safety operators, the Jawan who were trained to help me in the ATC. 13 boys, all from the armored regiments. Now, armored are with the tanks. They had never seen a woman commanding them. But let me tell you, when I meant business, when I used to run with them in PT, they knew obviously these, hatta khatta giants would 6 feet tall guys would run faster than me. But my endeavor to be with them, my endeavor to play games with them, go in the morning, do PT with them, correct them when they have not done their work on time, check them, teach them, take a fall in. I was like this tiny standing in front of these 6 footers and telling them कि आपने ये नहीं किया है. Making my points clear. I never, they never disrespected me because I was a woman. I'm talking about 2011. They respected me because I knew my job.
Right.
I knew when I sat on the controlling, RT control, where you control the aircraft, they knew she does her work. She can teach us. She means business.
Hmm. Hmm.
So these are the things when they know about you, they will respect you. So respect is something not demanded. It comes automatically when they see your work.
Right.
And
Right.
when you mean business, if I do not know my job, be it men or women, nobody will respect me. They will say, ऐसे ही कोई आ गया है, she's a lieutenant, he's a lieutenant, he's come and he doesn't know his job. So when a person knows his job, irrespective of whoever you are, you will be making your mark, you will be making your place. And the thing of people saying, girls should not come in NDA, this and that. NDA, going into NDA doesn't need you to be ekdam physically strong.
Hmm.
3 years are given in the academy, they are making you strong there.
Yeah.
Physically, they will make you strong. This
Right.
should be strong. If this is not strong, I may be a Hulk by body, yeah. But if I have a brain so tiny which is going to give up every second moment, what is the advantage of being so strong, by body
Yeah.
wise? So if somebody is mentally very stable, mentally very strong, that person can sail through the armed forces.
Okay.
And lastly, I would like to add one thing. People say there are so many things going on, sometimes it's not good for women, some cases they hear about. I would like to tell you that bad apples are everywhere.
Hmm. Hmm.
No
Yeah.
profession has been, escaped out of this. There
Hmm.
are two types of people everywhere. So you
Right.
will find them one odd person will be there in every. You go in military, you go in corporate, you go in other government jobs, you go in bureaucracy. Everywhere you'll find somebody or the other person. You should know how to tackle with them. Like if a women officer means I mean business, I mean business. If I want nobody comes in my radius of 5 meters, nobody will ever come.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
we should have maintained that kind of an aura that there somebody comes within 5 meter of my this. Yeah, you
Okay.
can live your life. Yeah, matlab, when I left my house, I was what 22 when I left my house. I
Hmm.
just went. My parents didn't come to drop me. I just picked up my luggage. I went to the training academy. I
Hmm.
joined there. I passed out. Since then, I'm all alone. Recently, like I have got the opportunity to live with my husband. Otherwise, all these years I was all alone,
Okay.
being in the
Huh.
army. So you're living alone. You are that smart. And I'll tell
Hmm.
you, army keeps you safe. When I used to come late at night from meeting with my friends and parties and all, we all might be staying in different camps. The time I used to see the gate of my camp, even the lights of my camp, I used to feel secure because I knew if something goes wrong with me right now, the men who are there at the gate will be there to save me. So that kind
Hmm.
of confidence also you get because your men are by you and nobody is always behind you to make any controversies and all. As I
Right.
said, bad apples are everywhere. You'll find one small character everywhere and we must just ignore them.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Yes. There are some wonderful comments floating in about how inspiring this is, about what you just said. There are many people who are writing that. And since you mentioned
Okay.
Yashika, ma'am, she had also mentioned this in her interview that the army is not a workplace, it's a family. And that when you go into a family. And that is
Totally.
exactly, yeah, that is exactly the sentiment that you are also resonating. So I think
Yeah.
it's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, on a slightly lighter note, we've been following your work for a while, and we see that you do a lot of work for animal rescue and animal welfare. So, ma'am, how did this start? Was it something that was there with you from your time in the academy, or is it a more recent thing?
No, it's with me since the time I was born, I should say, or it runs in my family. There have been cattle and cows, sorry, dogs, cats, everything in my family since my great grandfather. And it has continued since then. When I was born, my father had two dogs, three, then it continued three dogs, four dogs, cats. So I have been with them. So compassion came very naturally to me because they were like family. They were not like the ghar ke pets. They were like
Right.
my sisters or my brothers or something like this. We used to, when my mother used to give us milk to drink when I was a kid, she used to give it first to my dog, to my cat, and then me. And used to tell me that you have to drink it faster than them, like a competition. So it is started from there early morning when I was supposed to drink my milk. My mother used to make that thing, happen in the house. So it
Hmm.
started from then. And in 2015, February, I had come across when I was posted in Pathankot. I came across a mother dog who had like seven odd puppies, out of which one was run over by a car by mistake, and the puppy died. So that people, so that it should not happen any further, people just picked up all the puppies and they dumped them somewhere. So the mother was crying throughout the day, and I did not know how to make her happen. Then we went and fetched for her puppies. We asked people unko kahan drop kiya hai and all. And I helped the mother to search for a puppy like 3 hours in the mangroves, and I got myself scratched and all. So it started there. I'll tell you the month also. It was somewhere around 20th of February or something in 2015. So
Hmm.
it started since there. Out of her puppy, I had kept one for myself. His name is Tiba. He had got a maggoted wound. He's my first son. He's got a maggoted wound on his back. All maggots, those kidas moving around,
Hmm.
and I healed him. It took me 6 months to take care of him, and he lived with me since then. So, to have rescue dogs, because earlier my father had breed dogs with him. Huh?
Hmm.
To have a rescue dog and to have somebody who, wanted me in his life, it is like more than me wanting him, he needed me. It started from there, and till this September, I had four. Unfortunately, one of my dog passed away. She's my daughter, and I keep doing that right now also. Unfortunately, I got late because of the same reason. I just rescued a puppy yesterday. He was run over by a vehicle by mistake, so we were not expecting him to survive, but yes, he survived. And I don't know how come right now, when I had kept him outside on the balcony, he rolled over and he fell down from the first floor. It was just 5 minutes before the live, so hence I messaged you guys that I would get late, and I was thinking that the poor guy yesterday only he went through a trauma, and today the same thing, but then fortunately he's fine. So I don't know how, but this thing is there with me. I cannot see anybody. Any animal specifically, obviously humans too, in pain. And I personally feel that if we humans find another human in pain, it is a natural tendency that we go and ask the person for help. We help them, we do not ignore. But that's not the case with animals. People very easily choose to ignore something that's happening in front of them for animals. So that is the reason I do that. Yes, I get many people asking me that you are, you're not a vegetarian and you're not a vegan, then how people have those kind of questions
Yeah.
for me. But yes, I am a reducitarian. I eat very less, very, very, very less of it. And I am
Hmm.
on the way of becoming a vegan. But apart from that, I feel, why should this thing stop you from saving other lives? Just
Absolutely.
because I'm not able to not give up eating something,
Hmm.
why should I equate that and not save other lives? Which whatever
Ab-
I'm capable of, I feel whatever is in my hands, me and my husband, we give our best. I mean, anybody in need can just look up to us, and we'll always be there. So that has been with me, and I think it will continue till the time at least I am alive. I hope I can pass on this to my next generation.
Definitely, ma'am, definitely. And like you rightly said, we tend to look at human suffering very carefully. But when it comes to animals, it's easy to turn a blind eye to it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thankfully, because of people like you, I think a positive spark has been ignited, and we are sure to go keep it continuing. Definitely,
Yeah,
ma'am.
I wish people get a little inspired by me from here and keep continue doing it. But I'll tell you, there are amazing pages on Instagram. I
Hmm.
mean, it's like a standing ovation for them. Teenagers, students who would not even have a stable source of income are running NGOs. That takes a big heart. I mean, I would say that I had my career. With my
Hmm.
career, I was doing it. But imagine those who've not made a career yet, but are putting their 100% over, these rescues. So that's a very big thing for them.
Absolutely, ma'am, absolutely. And it has to start somewhere. So you've started it up,
Yes.
and we're sure to, keep it going. Definitely, ma'am, definitely. Now, just to conclude this, my final question to you is, do you recount your last day of service, ma'am? The day you
Yes.
recount. Could you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, I recently even posted about
Yes.
it my last day of service. It was 18 March 2021 last year when that was the last working day of mine.
Hmm.
And I'll tell you the emotions were same because I started from this very place from in Army Aviation as I
Hmm.
that's my second posting. But for Army Aviation, this was my first posting, Siliguri. I would
Hmm.
not give the exact location. Siliguri
Hmm.
was my first place of posting. I came here as a lieutenant to make a career in armed forces. I used to ride a scooty. Okay, I learned riding a scooty. 23-year-old, lieutenant, short hair, going on scooty, getting up early, running around, learning things from people, getting shoutings for not doing work on time or missing out something. And I, completed my service also here in this very place, this very unit, and the same appointment which I was holding like a air traffic controller.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then I had no dedicated office to myself, but this time I had a proper office. And I'll tell you, when you are leaving your uniform, it's a very heavy feeling because you're not going to wear that from the next day. And trust me, when I came back home, I packed my uniform the very second day. All my accoutrements, like the stars and the batches and all my shoes, I neatly folded them, and it's gone in my almirah now in my cupboard. I have not opened it. I have not touched it after that. When I moved, and this time earlier, as I said, I had a scooty, and this time I have my own car. So I was
Yes.
thinking, yeah, I have accomplished something. I purchased my own car. I have become, bigger,
Hmm.
elder, matured. There I was, running around like a kid. Everybody in the unit used to call me baby of the unit. It generally happens when the youngest lieutenant, the youngest one is called baby. So
Hmm.
people used to keep, making me run around. Prajakta will do this, Prajakta will do that, so that you learn.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
passing out here, moving out from here as a major,
Hmm.
when you are matured enough, you are giving more orders to people, you are
Hmm.
telling people to do things. So then my husband was there with me on the last day. He came early from office. I met everyone. I had my interview with my commanding officer. I told him how I feel, and it was very heavy going to the ATC tower, giving the last ATC call to the aircrafts. And when I do visit my unit, sometimes people tell me, "Ma'am, abhi kar lo." I said, "No, I have left
Hmm.
that thing. Now it's not something that I should be coming and touching." So when
Hmm.
I said goodbye to my men, especially who have supported me from such a long time, and we have something known as a quarter guard, where where you have the unit flag, you have the national flag as well, a
Okay.
tricolor. And
Hmm.
whenever any officer moves from there, they get a salami shast. Majors get salami shast, major and above. So that was the last salute I took when I moved out of the gate, and it is just near the gate. So
Hmm.
whoever passes by, the quarter guard, the guard commander over there gives a command, and the sentry over there gives you a salute. So I still remember moving out again on my scooty. I told my husband, "You take the car. I'll go on scooty today." Okay, so I went on scooty. I took the last salute over there, and I exited my gate. I said, I started my journey here. I'm ending my journey here on, on the scooty. So it's very heavy, leaving things behind and knowing that from tomorrow onwards you won't be entering this office. You won't be
Yes.
there. Yes, I keep going, but I don't go in uniform. So it's
Right.
altogether a different feeling now. But at the end of the day, I always say all good things will come to an end and they will begin again. I started my second journey with a corporate company, and I'm quite happy with it now.
Right. Right.
Oh, okay. I have done one bit of mine as a serving soldier. Now, as a veteran, I can give back to my society. So that's how I, opened my page, kept it open. Earlier, it was, a private page. Then I kept an open profile. I started doing live sessions, helping out the aspirants and all, because I feel knowledge shouldn't be there with you. The more and more you share it, more people can benefit. So that's how I started doing it. I said something I can do for the society, something for the people which I have learned. May help, may not help. There may be many people who are more knowledgeable than me, but at least whatever I have with me, I can always give it to them.
Absolutely, ma'am. Definitely. That's really nice of you. And I think it is safe to say that you have quite a few fans, ma'am, who have been typing in the comments about how inspiring and how much you motivate them. So I think clearly when you said may not help, I'm certain that it is helping a lot of people. And just on that note, conclusion, any one word of advice that you'd have for anyone who would want to join the forces? Any of our youngsters who would want to join the forces?
There are many, but the major thing I would tell them is don't give up. Because when you are thinking of getting into the armed forces, now it's not a job which is 9 to 5. That at the end of the day you will be going back home, you'll be meeting your people. You are committed 24/7. 24/7 to the uniform, to the men, to the country, to everything. You are responsible. So if you have thought of becoming an army officer, armed forces officer, I would not say army officer, army, navy, air force, paramilitary, coast guard, if you've thought of becoming any one of those, do not give up from now onwards. I have many aspirants messaging me and thinking about what medicals may ho jayega. I may be rejected for this, that. But I keep telling people that is something later on. Why not try it? You will
Yes.
not know what miracles can happen in your life, how God can come up in different ways to help you, because only you are determined to go there. So do not give up. But at the end of the day, there is no alternative to hard work. Luck will favor the brave. You have to work hard. You have to not give up. There are many instances. I'll tell you. I know officers who have cleared SSB in the 12th attempt. They might have started from NDA, giving from NDA for giving for Naval Academy, then giving it for all services. 12, 15th attempt, 15 SSBs they have given, and after that they've made it. I say that is grit and that is determination. When you are sure of getting, I want to reach this point, I will reach this point. Come what may. So people say ना मैं उदास हो जाता हूँ, I am depressed, I am this. Everything will happen. Life is not a stagnant water, it's a flowing water. You will hit the rocks. You will come across, turns and twists and waterfalls. You have to let it go with the flow. You feel bad, cry over it. Cry over it big time. Go somewhere, get refreshed, but come back. Come back and stay on the path and go and achieve it. So biggest thing for the youth generally, and not only for armed forces, for anywhere in life. आपको अगर successful होना है, you need to stay focused. You need not to give up. The time you give up, the destiny will give up upon you. The time you don't give up, the destiny will be, what do you say, forced to take you to the place where you want to go to. So just grab things in your hand and start moving.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much for this answer and for the entire interview. I'm sure that I was very inspired and motivated by everything you said, and I'm sure that's the same for everybody who was a part of this session also. So, on behalf of the Defense Archive team, I think I would really like to wholeheartedly thank you for your time, and I do hope that we can have more such interactions in the future. And I also hope that your pup will do better soon. I
Yeah.
hope he's fine. Yes, wishes for him as
I'll,
well.
I'll request everyone to pray for him because he's having a tough time. So, and I
Absolutely,
wish he
ma'am.
survives and, has a good time ahead.
Absolutely, ma'am. Our
Thank you so
prayers
much.
are with him. Thank you so
Thank you so
much,
much.
ma'am. Thank you for this wonderful session and have a great day, ma'am. Yeah.
You too, dear. Bye. Take care.
Thank you. Take care, ma'am. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Jai.
Jai Hind.